Yeah. Ooh. Oh. Releasing energy. Releasing energy is crucial to what happens really is we start to build up vibrational discharge within us. If we can think about an energetical flow over time, the synapses take place and just energetical waste builds up. This is how people actually get extremely sick. Sickness is a form of build-up within the frequency kinetic existence of our aura. And when we start to create the block or when we start to slow our existence down, we start to create this blockage in energy flow. Now, I'm also referring to mentality here, but we can also go into the body and the body is that it's extremely important to harness the flow or the flow of the body's energy. And we can do this by techniques. Breath is one technique, and also movement is the other. Because ultimately what we need to do is we need to harmonize the body's connectivity, essentially. How we do this is becoming aware that the body and the mind is an energetical system, and that we are essentially a code or a frequency which is then it's almost like you could say a reflection. We are a code or a frequency which then reflects this image which we are, the body, the human mind. The human mind is only is essentially the broadcaster of this image. And whatever we believe the mind to be or the body to be is the reflection of the mind. So ultimately, everything is seeded from the mind. Every weakness, every sickness, every disease, it all starts from the mind. And this is a little bit controversial, but so be it, because we all have the ability to speak freely, at least in this present moment. Now, when we start to understand that everything comes from the mind, we like to close it down, because we don't want, most importantly, the mind does not want us to believe that we have the power to free ourselves from all suffering and all sickness within our minds. Because the mind is the very dictator which is trying to convince us that as long as we follow what the mind wants us to do, then we ultimately have the freedom. It's almost like a king being on the throne, and you feel that the king could be doing things in a better way, but the king silences you because it knows that if you became the king, well, then you could become that better way, or you could become that expression of true self. The same thing is going on with our minds. We become acceptive to the mind's thoughts, and then we do what the mind says us to do, and then it creates this existence which we ultimately have the power to succeed in. But for many of us, we get too evolved within this existence, and it's challenging, life's challenging, and we get caught up in this existence that we never really raise above this existence. We never really come to the point of knowing that we are truly in control of our lives. We are the true creators of existence, because we're so caught up in the existence which the mind is creating. So when we start to examine that, if we really want to become the true, it's not necessarily the dictator, but it's because what's the point of being a dictator if we then close out potentialities into our lives? But when we become the true awakened form, we become the divine expression of infinite possibility. We'll wrap this up into a part 2.